Hello, this is Alistair for this vlog of another video. We recorded straight after the last one. Yes, in the previous video I mentioned that we should have some of my thoughts on the military. And I'm not really for the military, to be honest with you. Because it's sort of seen as this be-all, end-all, you're not going to get any better form of life as it is. Because with those recent British military adverts, like British Army I think it is, which basically have the tagline, "This is belonging," which I do not like because it's, to me, it's suggesting that the only way to have a life and belong to society is to shoot people for a living. Yes, I know I know there are jobs in the military that don't involve shooting, but you are helping those who do shoot. You get my point? Yes. Even the janitor, cleans up the place so soldiers can get around, get some training done in, to shoot people. So even the janitors and cleaners and stuff are guilty, They have blood on their hands indirectly, but they've got blood on their hands. Yeah. But it is seen as this sort of heroic gesture. You're someone with balls, which, to be honest, you are going into a war zone where it's a very highly likely chance you'll be injured, if not killed. I will say that does take balls, to be honest with you. But is it balls considered into bravery or stupidity is more the question. But being in the military is considered this sort of heroic gesture. You're serving your country, you're saving it from the ravages of the foreigners type dealio. Yeah, because when it comes to the perception of the military, the best way to look is the British Empire. No, seriously. Look at it pre-World War I and post-World War I. Now, pre-World War I, it was considered this romantic, manly gesture when all of the hairiest of chested men went off to battle people with sticks. Even though we didn't mention that, we made it seem like they were ferocious animals, and not because we had gunpowder and they had shields made out of hide, and the best weapon was a sharpened rock. But World War I broke that sort of romantic delusion, as it were. Yes, prior to World War I there were some events that were sort of very gritty sort of dealio, but World War I brought that to the general public. Because World War I was the war to end all wars. It ended the previous era of war, which was the romantic gentleman's war, and basically came and gave it the actual reality with no filters. Hashtag no filter. Yeah, in all seriousness, because war is a gritty and horrible thing, and I do agree, even though I don't like the soldiers, I think once they come back from it, they do need help. Like, there's nothing wrong with giving them psychiatric treatment or physical treatment, whatever they need. Like, they do suffer quite a lot, because it is a very traumatic event. But World War I shattered the illusion that war was this romantic thing, and it became the true thing, this gritty, dirty, filthy, murderous thing that pretty much breaks anybody, either mentally or physically, or even both, who even goes near it. It is terrible, and these charities like Help for the Heroes and stuff, I think they are needed. I think they are definitely needed, because there are people out there who can't afford the treatment they need to, become normal again, if you know what I mean, like become mentally healthy again, and that what help help them live with their disabilities and stuff that they've gathered from war. The effects of war I'm definitely for helping with, like making amends and stuff, but the actual what happens during war and the lead up to war, I'm not a fan of. I'm more of a fan of like sitting around a table and talking it out. I'm against war because it causes just more shit. Because people go, "Oh, war stops all war." No, it doesn't. Do you know the 20th century was, in recorded history, where most of the wars took in recorded history, what we have records of today. And what happened in the 20th century that was such a massive event that pretty much was one of the defining features of the 20th century? Oh, it's war! Because there were three if you ask someone to name your war, if you go to a random person in the street and go, name two wars, I guarantee it'll be one of these. It'll be the World War Two, World War One, or the Cold War. It'll be one of those three. One of the three will always be mentioned when you ask someone, please can you name a war? You'll always get the highest volume. Probably most likely World War Two will probably be the highest volume. Either followed by the Cold War or World War One. But I believe probably World War Two will probably be the highest volume. But that doesn't matter. The fact is that they are mentioned. And look at all the other wars that happened in, the 20th century. We've got the Vietnam War, the Korean War, the Falklands War, countless other wars. You've got all the military coups that went on in South America. You've got... we've mentioned the proxy wars fought by America. Cold War, yeah, mentioning that. Oh, you've got Russia's war with the Afghanistan. You've got that one going on. Yeah, Russia went there first. You see what I mean? Now let's look at the 21st century. Now granted, we've only had 17 years of the 20th century so far, but we've only really had one major war. And that's the War on Terror, where people just went into Iraq and Afghanistan, Iran. Basically, they went into several countries in the Middle East. And look how it's ended. We've only had really one major war. Yes, there's probably been a few skirmishes. Yes, Russia's been a massive bell end, but it's Russia. But it's nowhere near to the same extent as the 20th century. Now, before you say anything, granted, we're not very far into the century yet, or even this millennia. But still, we are closely coming up to 100 years since World War One ended. Yet we've only had really 100 or so casualties already from the World War One, like in Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan. At least on the British troops front. Never mind the civilian casualties. But yeah, this century's been a lot calmer. Well, for the simple reason excuse me. For the simple reason is because, well, we sat down at a table and talked it out. Yeah. People go, oh, this UN, this NATO, this EU, it does nothing but cause more problems. Yeah. People are yeah. Because, there's not been, we've got more war than ever, haven't we? Yeah. People don't seem to realise this. And we are heading for World War III at some point. It's inevitable. Now, I'm not before anybody says, oh, it's because you're leaving the EU, you're extremist lefty. No, I'm not saying that. I think leaving the EU will cause problems, but not World War III level problems. It'll probably be something to do with Trump, to be honest with you. Because it's fucking Trump. He's bound to do something. I stopped myself in a sense because I say he's bound to do something stupid, but that's quite evident. I should have said he's bound to do something. He's bound to do more stupid things. That's what I was meant to say. But yeah, see my point. War only causes more war. It never ends it, unless it happens to be total, nuclear annihilation war, like total mutual destruction, which that's nuclear weapons which actually sort of save lives at the end of the day because of mutual destruction. So it's sort of a nice thing, but again, if an accident happens, one goes off accidentally, that's the planet gone and everything on it. I've seen Fred, I know what I'm talking about. God, that's a fucking awful film. It's scary, but it's scary as Jesus he balls. Not only in the horror sense, but just saying you're gonna get nightmares for the rest of your life. Scary. Don't dealio. It's just horrific. But yeah, watch it if you're interested in that. It's a British film. Yeah. But yeah, that's just been an answer for this vlog for my thoughts on the military and shit. Yeah, the military shit, but goodbye.